related? Email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb, and together we will travel the world.
We could put on a fantastic show. All the best artists in the world, if the show ain't got nobody in it, show ain't saying nothing. So in the grand scheme of things, any party, any fete, any production, the people is who really make the thing, right? So that was one of those, it's almost like an ode to the people. Because one is who's met this thing, you know.
Two, get ready. 1, 2, 1, 2. He could be a pet or a life. When we come together, because you, we are the heart of the party. When the song sweet, it could be a lime or a pet. Be ready to sweat. Here's a shot you want, then realize.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our...
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning, Barbados, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, 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 morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, morning, Barbados, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, morning, Barbados, good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you.
Wednesday, we continue to be live from the showroom here at Warren's, the Inchcape Barbados showroom, as we bring Morning Barbados to you. And as we wake you up every single weekday morning, Monday to Friday. And we'll be here until the 19th. So we have some time still to explore with you the many makes and brands and all of the opportunities that flow therefrom. But I'm Pearson Bowen, welcoming you to today being Wednesday, the 10th of June, 2026. And so to all of you joining us on our streams on Facebook, YouTube, or our website, cbc.bb, good morning. How do you do? We wish you well. We also encourage you to share the show. And as you share the show, bring others by so they can be a part of what we do every single day. Tell them they're missing something if they don't. And then they'll catch what we're sharing as well. So thank you for sharing. Thank you for commenting. And we encourage you to continue doing so. Always remember to be good to yourself. No one else has the power to make you happy. And of course, if you know of something to be told or someone whose story has to be told by us, then tell us about it. You can share that by sending us a tip with contact details, of course. Point us in those directions, and you can do that by email. The email address is right there on your screen. It's morninbarbados@cbc.bb. morninbarbados@cbc.bb. We thank you for being a partner with what we do every single weekday morning. Now, it's Wednesday. We're in the middle of the week. I hope you have taken some time to spend some time with yourself. Too many of us have got so busy pleasing others and serving others, we didn't take the time to serve ourselves. I want to encourage you to take a breath for just a moment and go back inside. Restore yourself. Restore yourself by using the one source who gives you life and breath every single day, spending time with God. He inspires you indeed. I want to remind you of that relationship and why it's so important not to turn yourself away from it. Get back to God. Spend some time with God indeed. You know, interestingly enough, I took up this pen today. I reach for something to write with every day. And it said to me today, let love and kindness guide every step that you take. What a wonderful gift given to me. Can't recall by who, it doesn't matter, but it's inspiring. Let love and kindness guide every step you take. Perhaps that's a message you needed to hear today, and I hope you take it to heart and you put it into action to let love and kindness guide every step that you take today. Sometimes we can be so cruel one to the other. We need to pause. We need to pause and recognize that we do need each other. Now, coming up today on the show, the police advise us to be road ready. What does that mean, and how will it work, and what is it really they're trying to achieve? They'll sit and talk to us a little bit more about that as we go through this season. From Bathsheba to the world, we take on the exploration of Junior Seeley, who is a multidisciplinary artist. He's here with us. He wants to share with us an exhibition that's coming up very, very soon, of which we can be a part, so we can see the beauty through his eyes. Also today, she is seen everywhere, and she does almost anything. She calls herself too multidisciplinary, but who is she? Megan Michael. And so Megan will sit with us this morning as we explore with her passions, her purpose, her everything. What is it that she's doing? But she's also concerned about our personal branding, and she's offering opportunity for us to understand what that personal branding truly does to self. So she'll talk to us a little bit more about that to inspire us to take it quite seriously. The talk about the place today almost everywhere is how artificial intelligence is seen and done in every single thing. And so people feel threatened in their workplaces and workspaces. And so the president of HERMAB will sit with us as we look at that, this technology known as artificial intelligence. Would it replace us? And what should we do differently? How can we benefit therefrom as well? Will it displace? All of that we'll talk about when we meet with HR HERMAB to talk about HR this morning. And we're 10 days away from the 18 students of St. George Secondary who will be all vying for the Spirit of the Lion show. And we'll meet more of those who are part of that activity when they join us here on Morning Barbados today. We are 5 past the hour. We'll take a break right here. We're getting right into Morning Barbados right after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
The next chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
This is CBC, your crop over and summer vibe destination. This year, we're living crop over across every platform: TV, radio, digital, culture, music, sport, entertainment, like never before. On TV8, it's Crop Over Live, Crop Over Sweet Spot, festival vibes, the raw energy, straight from the heart of the action. On radio, we've got every vibe covered. 98.1 The One brings the heat. The Soca Squad, Soca Avenue. It's SATA, Signal Fridays, pure energy, pure vibes. Q100.7 FM honors the legacy. Crop Over Legends, Into Festival. The stories that built this festival. Vibe 94.7 FM brings it home. Crop Over Diaries, Calypso Legacy, Culture Unfiltered. And CBC News is on the ground for every story, update, and highlight. Everything streams live on our socials and YouTube. Wherever you are, you're connected. Plus, spot, connect, and win. One loyal CBC listener or viewer drives away in a Suzuki Hybrid. This isn't just a season. This is CBC. This is the Crop Over and Summer Vibe.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Yes, 'tis crop over, 'tis a season of merriment and festivity and all of the cultural activities that we get engaged in. But it's also the season when a lot of people tend to want to take opportunity. And I leave that right there broadly. You'll see what we're talking about right now as we sit with the members of the Barbados Police Service. Acting Inspector Ryan Brathwaite, who you know is the Public Affairs and Communications Officer, is with me. And with him also Station Sergeant Robert Smith. Gentlemen, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Pearson. Good morning, Barbados.
Inspector Brathwaite, there's a lot going on. I mean, there's talk even on the call-in programs about this scam. We see it happening. We've heard you commenting on this. What's happening?
I want to say to Barbadians, just ignore that. Put it at the back of your mind. It's not true. Anytime that the police reports you, they're going to stop you, they're going to have a conversation with you, they're going to tell you why you're reported, and you receive a summons. It comes in the mail. The postman will deliver it. The Barbados Police Service do not send correspondence online as it relates to payment of any fines We don't get involved in the payment of fines. That's the first thing. And we don't send that correspondence online, whether it be by computer, whether it be by WhatsApp, email, whatever. We don't ever do that. You will get a letter in the mail. You get a summons delivered by a bailiff stating that you're to appear in court on this day. If it's a traffic violation, you've not paid the traffic ticket within the stipulated 21 days. It's 21 days. 21 days, you don't pay that ticket. Then we send a letter as a reminder. It's delivered, it's placed in your mailbox by your postman, and then you see that mail. But never, ever do we do that type of business online. So you don't have to fear. And I say, you know, these things have, oh, you have 24 hours, and people go into panic mode. I only have 24 hours. That's not true. And you have more time than you think. There's a lot of time. Enough time. 24 hours is a long time when it comes to payment. If you are suspicious of an activity, that's mean that you follow that suspicion. If it looks suspicious, it is suspicious. So reach out to the Barbados Police Service. Make a call to a friend. You have a police friend. Make a call and ask a question. I'm sure if that friend don't know, he will or she will ask the question. Call the nearest police station and ask the question. But don't just jump and click on those buttons and spend your money. You're giving away your money, your hard-earned money. If it looks suspicious, it is suspicious.
You know, we get a little scared of you guys. So
no, we don't want you to be afraid. We are here to join the community. We are working with the community. You know, it's about service, and we are here to work with the community. Don't be afraid of the police. The police is your friend out there. We are here to maintain, prevent, and detect crime, but for the maintenance of law and order. That's why we are here, and we are your friend. We're just maintaining law and order, and we're keeping the structure in place to keep our society as a civil society. But that's what we're about, you know, to serve, protect, and reassure. That's our mantra. And we will do it professionally and efficiently.
You always do. And so when you see people pop up or things pop up, ask a question before you leap to take an action, because the police service guarantees that they're not going to be using the WhatsApps and those kinds of things that you receive communication by to communicate with you. It comes by official mail. And so look out for the mail. If it's something by some other channel, then you know it ain't yours. Look at your screen, folks. Look at your screen. This is something that someone received, their final notice of administrative penalty for traffic violations. And so this is not, what you're looking at your screen seeing now is not the way that the police service will communicate with you. It is not the way it will be done. And so as we engage with the police service every single day, whether the hand comes up to stop you or they pull to the side, all of those kinds of things, note they do have a process that they follow. And if it is against that process, then you know it can't be for real. That's not the way our police service works. So I want you to be assured of it, because I did hear this, Inspector, about this happening. But there was another thing that we saw recently in the news where we're hearing that people are using, those people who want to take opportunity, WhatsApp video calls to communicate.
I actually received that WhatsApp video call. They called me a man with a foreign accent. I'm from the Barbados Police Service, and he can barely speak the language. Yes. He can't even pronounce Barbados, and he's speaking to me. I told him, well, I'm from the Barbados Police Service, told them, coming to get you. You know, we will not call you by video call. No, nothing of the sort we will do. It's a professional organization. Yes, technology has evolved and we want to make things easier, but that's not the way that we will communicate with you when it comes to having to appear in court. Like I said, a bailiff will come. And it gave a 7-day countdown. That was the important thing. 7 days is a long time, so you don't have to be in a hurry. Don't panic. All I say to Barbadians, don't panic and think about it. Ask somebody that you think will know about it. Ask that question. Don't be afraid. Contact the Barbados Police Service. Call me. Call some member. Call the police station. 430-7100. That's the police PBX number. Call that number and ask a question. 430-7100. Anything to do with policing. And I'm sure that they will direct you to the relevant departments.
What presses your concern, just you individually, the police service concern at this time of year?
Well, it's crop over. And we know that people will party. And Barbadians say they're the best drivers in the world. And when I drink, oh gosh, I'm the best. I drive better when I drink. I want to say that's not true. That's a myth. Believe that. When you drink, you take more chances on the road. And fortunately for you, you probably make it home safe by the grace of God. So God has guided you home safe. I say that's a myth. Do not drink and drive. That is wrong. You know, you can never tell people go over the limit. So I say don't indulge. If you're going to drink, you want to have a good time, it's crop over. Arrange with somebody who's not drinking to take you home or to collect you. Use taxi to get home. You know, arrange with a friend. A parent come and collect you. I don't know if the parents want to get to bed so late. But do not go to these parties, these crop-over fests, and consume large amounts of alcohol. Well, consume alcohol. Don't plan to consume alcohol and drive. We know that you want to enjoy yourself, and some people feel, well, the only way to enjoy is to drink alcohol. I'll drink milk and still have a good time, but don't drink and drive. We're asking you, and that's why we've brought Station Sergeant Smith here. He's in control of the traffic department, and he will furnish you with all those tips about driving.
Yeah. So, Station Sergeant Smith, I'll come to you right after this commercial break because I think it's important to know we're seeing lots and lots of accidents happening on the road, and we wonder why. And as people go partying, drinking is one element, but then we exhaust ourselves to the bone and get in the car and say, "Car, take me home," and assume the car will navigate itself as it goes. So let's talk a little bit about that, Station Sergeant, about how we use the roads, particularly at this time of year. And you come with the concept of be road ready. When we think be road ready, we mean get on our costumes, get ready to hit the road and have a grand kadooment. But that's not what you're talking about in this instance.
No, sir. We're talking about road safety. That is high on the police service agenda. We want the motorists, when they are driven on the road, to be comfortable and to be safe. Everyone needs to look out for each other on the road. They owe a duty of care to each motorist. And I must tell you, person, that our program starts in the primary school with road safety. We have children line up, and we teach them how to cross the street and how to navigate traffic. And from there, it evolves on to persons going to get their license. They must be the ones too, with their instructors, who must now navigate the road in order to achieve that high degree of driving, now to be competent so that when they take their test, they will pass. And I mentioned competency because those instructors also have to pass a level of competency so they can pass on to their students how to navigate the road safely. Also, distraction, and that is by using your telephone. You're even turning a knob on your radio, and there's instances where persons are sitting in traffic and using a newspaper to read while traffic are moving slowly. So those things contribute to the level of accidents on our roads today.
It takes just about a second to make that mistake. Sometimes you're in traffic and you assume, not the word I use, the car in front of you inched forward when it did not. And you found yourself inching forward and boom, there's a collision without even being recognized because we're thinking ahead of the person in front of us as well. Let's talk a little bit about the distance between the car in front of you so that we try to avoid those kinds of collisions.
Thank you, sir. Okay, vehicles, although we know that there are a lot of traffic on the road, statistics say 181,000 registered vehicles, and we know that our road networks has not evolved to suit all these vehicles. But you must be mindful that on mornings or evenings when you're on traffic, you give yourself that distance in case your judgment lack, you got enough time to press on your brakes and avoid a rear-end collision. Because one rear-end collision on a very busy road, it backs up traffic for miles.
And forever.
Correct.
It feels like.
That 10 meters. So you give yourself that 10-meter gauge of full car length ahead of you. It also offers the opportunity that should something happen to the car in front of you, you can easily maneuver from behind that car. And we want people to be cognizant of that. And to practice, what we say, practice defensive driving skills. Bear in mind that you're not the only person on the road. You know, other person is liable to make a mistake. So you have to give yourself the opportunity to avoid that accident. So there's a reason why there's a speed limit. On the minor roads, it's 45.
60.
There's 60 on some parts of the highway, 80 on some parts of the highway. There's
40 on some parts of the highway.
Right. So do not speed. Do not be in a hurry. If you're in a hurry, if you're late, you're already late. It's better to get there 5 or 10 minutes late than to never get there at all. You know, accept that you're late, you've left home late, and let's take our time and get in there. Those solid lines on the road. Those solid lines mean something. They're not just there because that people had paint to waste.
Yes.
They're there for a reason. So you see a solid line, it means that you're not supposed to overtake. So don't overtake. You know, I see people come to junctions and you get irritated. When you're at the junction, keep your foot on the brake and talk to yourself. I'm in no hurry. I'm going to wait until traffic clear. Don't be in a hurry. Because you're looking, when I can get out of here, that time will come. As you take your foot up and you accelerate, we have a collision. So it's about taking your time, being cautious, thinking about other people on the road. Think about how long an accident will delay you.
That's me and Fred, but the man behind me is honking his horn like crazy and annoying the living daylights out of me at the same time. And we're giving examples of what could happen and why the traffic backs up at certain. Look at that. Isn't that horrible? We can avoid all of that, but we'll talk more after this break about being road ready and being road safe and some of the little things that cause congestion. We'll be right back after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Cropover lives on TV8. It's where the season comes alive. From the road to the stage, we've got it covered. The vibes, the music, the culture, all in one place. TV8. We are Cropover Live.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
There is a saying,
Good morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Do you recognize that road? Do you see the number of lanes on that road? Do you see the road markings on that road? That's what we're talking about here. When you look, you will see that there are arrows indicating, you will see there are solid lines, you will see there are broken lines as well. And all of those things we must respect. Those are part of the languages that we must learn while we're learning to drive, and then we apply that learning while we are actually licensed to drive. And so we're sitting with the members of the Barbados Police Service today, looking at ourselves being ready, being road ready. This time at all times indeed. Inspector Brian Brather is with me, and so too is at Station Sergeant Smith. So we were talking just now about the lines and the use of the trafficator to really indicate your movement and why that's important, Inspector.
Yeah, that's very important because it shows the people around you, the persons traveling behind you, your intended course.
Yeah, because they can't read your mind.
Of travel. Exactly, they cannot. So you come into the roundabout. It's your intention you're coming down from... That's the...
Bagatelle area? Or that's coming from Hines Hill?
Yeah, you're coming from Hines Hill. It's the intention to go back to Hines Hill. You come up to the roundabout. You select that inside lane. So you put on your indicator to indicate you're going into the center lane. You then traverse around the roundabout. Let's say you're going to Chauffet.
Right.
So you're going around the roundabout. You had on your right lane, your right indicator. Mm-hmm. When you straighten up, then you put on your left indicator to indicate to the person, well, look, I'm going straight ahead into the Chauffet area. I'm not going back down Hines Hill. So the person can automatically see, well, look, I need to take my time. This person is going to go straight. So I wait until your hand signals. Still very important. We do all these things when we're going to get a driver's license, and then we abandon them when we assume that we are competent drivers. You're not a competent driver if you're not doing all those things that's required on the streets to keep the streets safe. And that's the problem. We get complacent and we get confident, but then we're doing all the wrong things while we're complacent. Mm-hmm. So we need to get back to the basics. If you do the basics right, the basics have stood the test of time over the years. So if we use our hand signals, indicate you're slowing down, indicate you intend to make a right turn, put on that traffic signal, it's all good for the persons behind you. When you get into the roundabout, you selected the inside lane and you're going around the roundabout, but then suddenly you shift to the left side of the road. No, because we've introduced this jam busting where two cars can come down an opposite outside lane of each other and go straight. So you must indicate that you're intending to pick up that left lane. You're intending to pick up that right lane. You put on your indicator. You wait until you get to the broken section. The lines are broken, which is a signal that you then can cross over into another lane, you check your rear mirrors, you put on your indicator, you ensure that it's safe to do so, and then you proceed to do that.
I do the right thing. Thank you, Jesus.
Also, sir, the jambuster or jambuster system is only applicable to the highway. It is not applicable for those runabouts which is off the highway. For example, down on the area of Queen's Park, that is not applicable there, or in the waters, which is by the hospital.
Yes.
It's only on the highway where two-lane traffic goes straight. And another example is the runabout here by Warren, by the Chafet. Motorists coming down there who are using that center lane to make a right turn, that is a no-no.
Yes.
Also, those big trucks that is also doing that activity, that is also a no-no. And if those persons are caught by members of the service, they will be prosecuted because they also are putting themselves at risk when they perform that maneuver, because the vehicles on their right are going straight to university as well. So also we must be mindful of the speed limit on the ABC highway. Different highways have different speed limits in terms of the class of vehicles. For example, those container trucks, tractor trailers, they are supposed to only travel at 30 kilometers per hour. Normal trucks, 50. Motor vehicles on the highway, 80. On the Spring Garden Highway, termed Mighty Granite Highway, is one speed which is 80 across the board. So that is just to remind motorists to mind their speeds while they are traveling on the highway.
So in essence, a tractor trailer, although the speed limit on the ABC highway is 80, a tractor trailer should not exceed 30 kilometers per hour. And the big trucks should not exceed 50.
Okay, lane, there are two lanes. Which is a slow lane? The one leftmost or the one nearest to the median in the middle?
Well, it's laden on laden.
I know.
Laden vehicles, which is vehicles with load, should use their left lane on the highway.
Drive on the side of the road.
The left lane, there's two lanes going on the highway.
Yeah.
So that vehicles who want to overtake, we do a natural course of overtake on your right and bypass. But sometimes we get that persons does be driving, although the speed limit is 80, you cannot drive next to one another and cause obstruction on the highway because you're committing an offense there as well.
Yeah.
So motorists must be cognizant of that.
Again, you irritate the other drivers because we're all trying to get on, and then you create road rage and you create opportunities for mistakes and accidents to occur. So be mindful of other road users as well.
Yes.
So the use of your traffic indicators, that's important. That shows that you're being mindful of other people using the road. You're indicating your intention, and you follow through on your intention. Some people do. I'll give an example. Last night coming home, same Heinz Hill. That indicator started from the traffic lights, and it came all the way up until the very last left turn that individual wanted to make. And all the while I'm thinking, are you turning or are you not turning? Are you stopping? What are you doing? And sometimes it can frustrate the one who is behind.
It's interesting you say that too, because I want to say that in terms of exiting from a junction and you see a vehicle with its indicator on, indicating to turn left, do not anticipate that the person is making that left turn and then proceed out. Wait until you see the maneuver completed before moving. That person might be indicating really that they want to go past you and park on the left side of the road. So one, you still have to be mindful and wait and be patient until the maneuver has been completed, and then you proceed to make your maneuver.
In other words, patience is the key word here today, boy.
It's a
Patience,
virtue.
Pearson. Patience, Pearson.
Defensive driving. Defensive driving. Thinking of the other things the other drivers will do.
There's some other road users other than vehicle or like motor cars. They're the ZRs who are also occupying the road and omnibuses as well. And they at sometimes can also create opportunities for accidents by the driver who is behind them. Let's talk a little bit about that behavior. And what do you want us, the motor car vehicle driver, to be mindful of when it's maybe lagging behind a ZR?
Well, we wrote taxis, commonly known as ZRs. They are bus stops or stopping place placed along every road. Some has laybys and some do not. So those persons are supposed to use those laybys so that the motorists could drive past and go ahead. Or if you are stopping at a bus stop, give adequate notice to the person behind you. We are stopping by either using your traffic indicator or using a hand signal. That way the person behind knows, yes, he is stopping without someone. I might have an opportunity to overtake if the road is clear. or not.
They should have the opportunity to
Should
overtake.
have the
But when
opportunity
they
to
stop in the middle of the road because they want to block someone else who they spotted way down, then we have a problem there. The other road user would be not just the cyclist, the motorcyclist, who sometimes also occupy a whole lane, I call it, just to say, hey, I can.
Yeah. You know, we want to say to motorists, and especially to those PSV drivers that, you know, so when they look at the economics of it, how many people can a van carry? What is the penalty behind the offense? Can you make the penalty behind the offense you're committing? You know, there's something out there for everybody. Your time will come. Respect the streets. Respect the users of the streets. We're all in this together. We're all family. And your driving and your bad driving, it goes for all drivers. Your bad driving will cause pain and suffering. It causes pain to those who have lost a loved one. But it also causes pain to you and your family who has committed that offense and caused people to lose their lives. So we must be mindful of that and don't put ourselves through that. Let's continue to drive safe. Think hard about what we're doing. And I want motorists to encourage other motorists to be safe on the streets. You know, if you have that conversation, when you're having that conversation, you repeat it and it's constantly heard, then people start to internalize it and take it in. To the PSV drivers, utilize the bus stops, utilize the lay-bys. Don't dead stop in front of persons in front of you just for the purpose of getting a bus fare, you know? Because an accident happens, yes, you can say, well, he ran in the back of me. By the end of the day, now you can't go anywhere, so you cannot continue to earn. Mm-hmm. So it must make sense. And let's continue to be safe on the road. Let's do everything possible to make our streets safe. But we must have the conversation. We must.
Whose responsibility is it to inform commuters of traffic diversions? I ask that broadly because there are times you come and whether it is being painted or there's road construction going on, and then suddenly your whole journey is messed up, so to speak.
Yeah, that's been a major problem, and you know, any person that is involved in road works that is likely to disrupt the flow of traffic ought to inform the media. I guess they have a communications department, and they ought to have informed the media. And if they're not sure, they can contact our communications department. They can contact us at rbpf.pro.ag@gmail.com, or my office number is 427-3885. I would prepare a release and I would inform the public, because it's the police job to keep the public informed. And you know, it's a real humbug when you go down a road and then the road is blocked off and you have to chart your whole journey all over again. So we must keep the public informed. So I'm asking those persons who are involved in road works along the roadway to keep the media informed that there will be a disruption. They should also inform the police so that we are aware that there's a disruption. And if we need to put traffic officers in place to assist without those diversions, we would help as well. But it's always good to inform early so that we can plan ahead to stay ahead.
Excellent advice indeed. I want to thank both of you, gentlemen. You've opened up our ears and eyes to so much that we need to be mindful of. But folks, I really hope that you begin to internalize. It's just a start. But as you begin to ponder upon and begin to put into practice the things that you've heard this morning from the police, you will see that your habits will eventually change. Your understanding of how the road works will also change. And so we want to encourage you to pay close attention. If you have to look back at this segment once we're done, go back and rewind and check it again for yourself. Just to check yourself as to see whether or not you're doing the right thing or wrong things, and then make the adjustments where necessary. Inspector Ryan Brather, as always, it's good to sit with you, sir.
Thank you. It's a pleasure being here, and thanks to CBC and Mornin Barbados for having us.
As always, Station Sergeant Smith, always good to see you as well.
Thank you, sir.
Mornin Barbados is right back from the showroom of HK Barbados right after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
You can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
We could put on a fantastic show. All the best acts in the world, if the show ain't got nobody in it, show ain't saying nothing. So in the grand scheme of things, any party, any fete, any production, the people is who's really made the thing, right? So that was one of those, it's almost like an ode to the people. Because one is who's met this thing, you know.
Two, get ready. 1, 2, 1, 2. He could be a pet or a line. When we come together, because you, me, we are the heart of the party. When the song swing, it could be a lime or a fet. Be ready to sweat. Here's a shot you want, then real and
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
This is CBC, your crop over and summer vibe destination. This year, we're living crop over across every platform: TV, radio, digital, culture, music, sport, entertainment, like never before. On TV8, it's Crop Over Live, Crop Over Sweet Spot, festival vibes, the raw energy straight from the heart of the action. On radio, we've got every vibe covered. 98.1 The One brings the heat. The Soca Squad, Soca Avenue. It's SATA, Signal Fridays, pure energy, pure vibes. Q100.7 FM honors the legacy. Crop Over Legends, Inda Festival, the stories that built this festival. Vibe 94.7 FM brings it home. Crop Over Diaries, Calypso Legacy, Culture Unfiltered. And CBC News is on the ground for every story, update, and highlight. Everything streams live on our socials and YouTube. Wherever you are, you're connected. Plus, spot, connect, and win. One loyal CBC listener or viewer drives away in a Suzuki Hybrid. This isn't just a season. This is CBC. This is the Crop Over and Summer Vibe.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're outside next to the traffic, and we're here because we are live from the showroom of HK Barbados. This is the intersection we're talking about, the roundabout of which we were just speaking. This is the Darcy Scott roundabout, and so as you make your way through, this is where you come, and then you make your swerve off to come to HK Barbados if you've never been to the showroom, indeed. And so this morning we're outside because this man is accustomed to the roar of the waves, but he's now getting the thunder of the engines.
It's true.
Junior City is his name.
Good
Junior,
morning.
good morning.
Good morning, person. Good morning, Barbados.
How are you?
I'm all right. It's
Who
good to be
are you?
outside. Well, I am a internationally and regionally known artist, mainly in photography, but I also do design, product design, spatial design, and other things in art and fashion.
What got you inspired?
In fashion? Mm-hmm. I just grew up pretty fashionable. That's literally, it's been a thing, a birthright for me, actually. And I've been living abroad. I lived in Toronto. But what really inspires me, obviously, is my island, Barbados.
What about Barbados inspires you?
The colors, the people, the vibe, the rhythm. All that ties back to everything I do as an artist.
Bathsheba is your starting point.
Yes.
Was that where you grew up?
So I grew up between Kingsland, Woodbourne, and Bathsheba. So my mom's from Bathsheba, my family's from Bathsheba. It's been really the key component of like who I am as a person, like country life, very grounded, very rooted. So like, yeah, Bathsheba is my starting point.
Bathsheba comes with such character. I mean, it's iconic. It's world known indeed. And so that's where you've come from. But your focus has always then been global as a consequence of from where you came.
100%.
You so much so you went abroad to Toronto and you studied art.
Yes.
What kind of discipline in art did you study?
So fashion as an art form, basically. I was a stylist for many years. I've styled like Stacey McKenzie, who's a Jamaican supermodel. I've styled Tiny Tampa, all these different artists. over the years. I had a store in Toronto, and also started Toronto's fashion in a different light, because before they were more bohemian-esque, and then I started to bring streetwear and contemporary fashion to Toronto, and then I moved from there to London. And obviously we know Barbados and London have a really good relationship in terms of like
for lives lost to gun
the ease of me moving to London because it was familiar. So so I'm worldly, definitely, you can say.
In a good sense,
yeah,
indeed.
100%.
But that exposure to those different spaces really opened up your mind to what's possible. And you're talking about streetwear when you mention it's just for just a moment. There's some who look at streetwear and think it's personal.
Right.
It's just how I feel. I can throw together whatever I choose to throw together. And then there are others who look at it and think, but y'all are crazy. You don't somehow fit the convention.
And that's exactly the truth, because I don't really fit the convention. And it's like, but streetwear is also, it could be high-end. It could be designer. It is designer. And a lot of large brands now are doing streetwear as a main component of their aesthetic. So, yeah, I mean, it is unconventional and cool, and that's kind of what I want to represent.
A lot of what we see from you, Junior, is worn on the human canvas, but a lot of it is also explored and shown in different media as well. Talk to me some about the exhibitions that you've had and the spaces you've been.
So the last exhibition I had was actually about Ghana. So now you know Barbados, obviously the Caribbean and Africa on a whole are like showing the connection and bridging the gap. So my last exhibition was actually about bridging the gap between Bayin, which is where I am in Ghana, which is a Western region town, and Bashiba, where I grew up. So those two like that connection, I wanted to show it through the photography to show that like everyday life in Ghana is almost like everyday life in Bashiba. The same way like your grandmother lets out of the house and you know that she's peeping out. When you're in Ghana, it's the same thing. You see the same energy. Like sometimes I would walk around and I would see my grandmother like just looking at me. So. And I wanted to continue that, so I brought that to Barbados, and now I'm also working on the Bajan version of that.
The Bajan version of that?
Yes.
And what would that Bajan version look like?
That's called the Fabric of Art Society, and basically it's showing further how people are the fabric of our society. And just as I said before, where you can see people like your grandmothers, or you can see people roasting fish, how we roast breadfruit, how we go into the streams and like fish, crayfish. They do their own versions of that in Enzalezu, which is like their big lake town. So there's a lot of connection, a lot of symbiosis. So
this exhibition is simply in fashion, or is it also in photographs?
So it's mainly photography.
Okay.
But the fact that like it's called the Fabric Art Society, there's going to be elements of fashion, whether that be through merchandise, whether it be through like how I present the work, because I'm actually going to present the work on fabric instead of presenting it on canvas and in photos, like on paper. So it's a lot about blending my two worlds together.
You have to stop for just a moment and conceptualize and put it all together. Talk to me about that process for you, because it can keep you up at night, can't it?
I mean, yes. I mean, my brain's always running, but I love that. I love the fact that I can just easily put together something. But for other people, it might take long. But even in this conversation, I'm having more thoughts. You know, like we're sitting outside by a roundabout. This is incredible. So like there's different ways to like portray stuff even from this viewpoint. You know?
And so your exhibition, you're launching soon.
Yes.
When are you launching?
So I'm currently working on setting up the photo booth, because the concept is really about letting the society and the community capture themselves for themselves. Because sometimes you pick up a camera.
Interesting.
Yeah, when you pick up a camera, you point it at someone. They
take on a different personality.
Yeah, and they go internally, you know.
Yes,
so I wanted to create a photo booth where people will enter and capture themselves the way they see themselves, and then when they come out of that photo booth, then I capture them. So now you get the perspectives, these two things. But the project is ongoing from June till August. I'm going to do the exhibition after crop over now. It was supposed to be during crop over, but we don't really want to compete with like the partying and the vibes. So like, as soon as crop over is finished, I'll honor the communities.
Okay, you said the project is from June to August.
Yes.
The project.
Yeah, it's a project.
You call it a project?
Yeah, because you're going to go from my childhood homes in Woodbourne to where I currently live and I grew up in Kingsland, to the community that like raised me, which is Bashiba. So we're going to go throughout those three communities and basically showcase the people who I've like grew up around, their families. Like my neighbor, he has children now. I want to capture everybody and kind of show that documentation. So it is a project, and hopefully this will move to Ghana too. And I do it in the villages of Bayen and Eloni, and it's like a moving project. So.
Well, we might very well be in the right spot if you can hear the sounds of the siren of the members of the Barbados Police Service. They're ushering, these are the lead motorcyclists, and they're ushering clearly a personality with the vehicle behind. It looks to be the vehicle driven of hosting our president. The president's vehicle is thus, we are right in time, Junior.
Yes.
And so here it is.
That's a blessing.
That's the president of Barbados going by us. You saw it live right here on Morning Barbados.
Wow, that's a blessing for my project.
It is indeed a blessing for your project. And that's how life unfolds.
Yeah,
it just naturally, organically unfolds.
It's true.
And that's what you're seeking to do in the project as well.
Yes, 100%. And like, it's about just capturing people as they are, capturing the community as they are, and also just showcasing the beauty within that community.
So I could well imagine you have your lens. You go. I say, aha, they're not paying attention to me. Let me just snap that photograph of a person in deep thought.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Or they're wearing a particular article of clothing that looks so interesting. What's in their mind for wearing that?
And that's how I capture things. I like to capture candids, as we would call them. And because that's when you get the real person, you know? And because as I said before, making this project and making the photo booth is about them capturing themselves, because as soon as you put a camera, like a big lens in front of a person, they go internally. So, yeah, so that's it, really.
And you know, sometimes we're surprised by how other people see us. We see what we want to see.
100%.
But then other people sometimes see what they want to see. But is that a figment of interpretation, or is that the truth when people see what they see?
I mean, not really. I think everybody interprets other people, like the beauty is in the beholder, you know? So like, technically, how I see somebody, they may never see themselves. But that's also why I do photography, because I pick out the beauty in a person, and I love to showcase that. Because there's many people I photograph, and then when they see the photograph, they're like, I've never even imagined myself to look this good.
Yes.
And it's like, obviously one, a skill, but two, just because I wanted them to look that good. So it's like the intention behind it.
So the project runs until August, and then you exhibit.
Yeah, I exhibit in August.
So you're projecting what? In August, mid-August, early August, late
August?
August?
It's going to be, I think crop over is the 3rd, it's opening the 7th.
The 7th.
And it will run to the 23rd. So it's 2 weeks.
Yeah,
2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Where?
Actually at my studio, called Cut and Eye Studio. It's in Green Hill. And yeah,
not too far from here.
Not too far from here. We can walk here.
Yeah, Cutting Edge Studio.
Cutting Eye Studio.
Which is a play on
exactly. A play on that, because obviously cutting edge easily, but cutting eye also because when we do things, we do it in a way to like say, like when people say you can't do it, so you're like cutting your eye at them. That's it really.
There's thinking behind every move that Junior makes indeed.
Move.
And so we're excited for your future. We're excited for your project as well. And so, of course, let us know when it's on so we can come take a look as well.
I really appreciate that.
Junior Seeley is his name, and he's brilliant in the way he thinks, he's brilliant in the way he sees things, and he wants to just showcase us as we are.
Yes.
And so we want to come see ourselves through the lens and the fashion and the different thoughts of Junior Seeley at Cutting Eye Studio in Green Hill once the exhibition is open. But in the meantime, you're going to be having the photo booth, right?
Yes.
Where is that? When can I come take my own photo?
So that will be set up in Woodbourne, Kingsland, and Bathsheba.
Each area?
Yeah, so, and that is going to be over 2 days each.
Okay.
But that will be run during like end of June to July.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
More to come for you.
But you're welcome to come.
Of course, I want to see what you see in me. Thank you so much, Junior.
Thank you for having me.
Good to meet you as well. Cool. Junior Seeley is his name. Listen out for even more of this creative gentleman from Barbados and Ghana and Bathsheba. Still right here on Morning Barbados. From the roundabout where we just witnessed something significant. We're coming right back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Cropover lives on TV8. It's where the season comes alive. From the road to the stage, we've got it covered. The vibes, the music, the culture, all in one place. TV8. We are Cropover Live.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We bring you the busyness of Warrens. And Warrens has burst into a place where all sorts of things are happening. One of which is Megan Michael. I had the opportunity to get to sit with Megan Michael. Megan, good morning.
Good morning.
Traffic report.
Oh my God. Okay, so traffic report. Right now, it's a little bit moderate. The traffic is picking up. Think of it as if you're in another country, you have to get your children to school. So there's a rush, but these are the early parents that are outside right now. The late ones are going to come. Traffic is moderate, but make sure you drive safely. I bet you were watching before, and I know that the police were saying, don't drive too close to the person in front of you. But traffic is easy and breezy right now.
Well done, Megan. Well done. We're going to employ you as our traffic reporter indeed. And so here we are. We're sitting with you. You are so good at what you do. You're in so many spaces, and you've met so many different people over time as well. How excited are you for what you now do?
I'm not only excited, but I will say this, I'm proud of what I am doing right now. I'm so excited to see the landscape of media, especially social media, and being able to have a voice and having your opinion and expressing different opinions in different ways. I'm excited to see how we as like the new generation of social media content creators can just express ourselves in different ways. So I'm proud.
The little girl Megan and the big girl Megan now, are they the same?
Yes, my little girl is walking with me. She is the same, but she is more expressive. I was telling Junior just now that there's a level of freedom when you realize what you can do and do it to the best of your ability without feeling that you have to fall back into something that you don't want to do, like, work in a 9 to 5 when you know for sure you're a creative,
Yes.
So yes, both the little girl and the big girl are walking together with each other. The little girl, Megan, was a dancer, a musician, and she's still doing it in different ways, but in a more expressive and creative way.
This little girl was always interested in being seen. And so in being seen means you have to present oneself in a particular way.
Yeah.
So I want to look at personal branding for just a moment because I know you're big on that.
Yeah.
When we say personal branding, what are we talking about?
Well, creating that story for yourself. I think of it as 3 pillars. So if you have a personal brand, you have to have those 3 pillars that you want to talk about over and over and over again, but just in different ways. So for me, my 3 pillars is culture. The next one is fitness and lifestyle. And the other one is being bold. And bold could be like fashion, it could be style, it could just being who you are. So personal branding definitely has to have those 3 pillars so you can tell that story over and over again so they can trust you and respect you.
So those are your pillars. Yeah. Each of us has different pillars. And so how do you go about helping people to discover what really are their pillars, or do we naturally know?
I don't think we naturally know is definitely some self-discovery, and this is where my psychology degree comes in, because when people come to me about personal branding and they ask me, Megan, I need to do this, I say, okay, let's journal. You need to go back to the source, go back to yourself and figure out what you've been doing over the past 10 years, what makes you feel the best when you're doing it. Because people do things and don't feel good about it. Yeah. But think about the thing that makes you feel great and then write that down, and that is one of your pillars. So there's a level of self-exploration that you have to go through for sure in order to know what a really good personal brand is.
You've taken the leap of faith in doing this and being recognized and rewarded by it. Good, thank you for watching, whoever you are. And so that leap of faith to take on this as your profession, how did you get to that point where you're confident and comfortable with making that decision?
It is a lot of denial from places that I should not be in. So, you know, as I say, yes, I've been working in marketing, and I was in sales and marketing, or just sales alone, and realizing, yes, I do like the job, but there was always a place where it's just like, well, I can't get no further with this.
Yes.
All of this energy, and I can't get no way. Like, this is it. So it's like a ceiling that I've been always like hitting every single time. But if I'm doing this on my own, there's no ceiling. I'm already a star, you know? So then like the galaxy is all mine at this point. So yeah, it's just realizing all of those different no's and denials and saying like, you know, the ceiling is breaking, isn't working. And I just had to be real with myself and say, listen, girl, you got to do this on your own.
Yes,
So,
yes.
yeah.
Many times we live and we get comfortable and we accept because we don't want to be upsetting of other people as well. And you were saying to our viewers this morning, listen, you can do better, you can do more, but you have to do you. You have to do you. But in doing you, you need to know who you are. And that's what you aim to do with all of your interactions with people as well. Megan, you've traveled, you've met different people, you've met outstanding people in society as well. Does it daunt you any when you have to sit across from some big up, as we call them?
No, not really. It's not daunting, but it's exciting because get to learn, get to be in the student role. And that's the part of life that a lot of people don't get to experience, where you do meet people that are well knowledge and well versed in what they do, and they get a front row seat to hearing all the information they could get and have leave with so much more information. So yeah.
And I'm glad you answered that way, because I often remind people, an interview is really about you listening, Isn't about you asking questions, but hearing what is flowing therefrom and then making sensible decisions as to what's your next question to go in search of information and inspiration. Yeah. And that's exactly what you do. So when you look at your life and you plot it out, because I'm sure that's what you do, you sound like that kind of girl.
No, I am a full Capricorn. I don't know if y'all into...
You born in what month?
January.
I am. What date?
Really?
What date?
The 10th.
18th.
We're Capricorns.
Right,
I know.
So I know you.
Yes.
I get you. You're driven.
I have to have a plan.
Yes.
There has to be a plan. There has to be a meeting. If I'm speaking to somebody, I always have a pre-interview. A lot of people that I've been having pre-interviews with, we talk in person. We go and have a brunch, or we talk on the phone. So when we do have a sit down, we done hash it out already. You know what I mean? So yeah.
That's exactly who I am.
Yes.
I mean, these folks know me so well. You can't trick me with that, because I don't know.
Yes.
And so that's important, I think, for a lot of people. But we drift through life, and we don't set ourselves targets and goals. And then when we stumble upon something, else, we're still shaken and we're searching. And we're saying, no, for just a moment, have a plan.
Yeah.
Know your plan, but know your brand, know your worth, know exactly what are those 3 pillars upon which you operate, which are unshakable.
Unshakable, and if you do something and those 3 pillars are not ticked off, that's the wrong direction.
Yeah.
That's the wrong direction. And I know every single thing I've done so far, the 3 pillars have been ticked off, and I feel excited to see what's coming next.
See, there you go. So Megan, in her journey, chronicles herself, but Megan examines herself. And are you the sort? Yes, I will hear you say yes because you're a Capricorn. Every day I tend to reflect.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah.
By the time I'm done here, I'm going to be on the way back to the office reflecting on what did I do, what did I not do well, what can I do better tomorrow, all of those kinds of things. You're that kind of girl, right?
I actually reflect in the moment. So sometimes when I'm having a conversation and I'm like,
Yeah.
My brain starts moving quickly, but yes, I do reflect, and I'm a huge journaler.
Yeah.
So, and I also have an amazing community of people around me that keep me grounded and also ask me the questions to reflect as well.
And I'm asking that because I think sometimes people they just go through life living, existing, following, and not taking time to consider where you've come from and where you're going.
Yeah.
And I think that's such a critical journey, a point in time of your journey that one has to reach at some point. And don't think for a second that you're too old to get to that point. I think at any stage and any age, you can get to that point of knowing where you've come from and where you're going.
100%.
And understanding how to get to that point.
Yeah.
Indeed. And so Megan lives Megan, Megan dreams Megan, Megan does Megan. And so Megan, while she's saying, I'm living in the moment, but at the same time you do. What is your one desire?
My one desire. So there are a few, but I currently do a relationship podcast, right? And I also love Caribbean culture. But you ready to hear?
I'm ready.
I would love to interview A$AP Rocky and Rihanna on their cultural. Well, they have met. You know, A$AP has a Barbadian father, and Rihanna obviously is from Barbados. But how they brought their cultures together and found themselves in love. Well, I would love to have that conversation.
Wow. I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, even with fashion and style and seeing how they marinate the Caribbean culture and know the American influences with their relationship and where they're going and where they're taking their culture and their brand and their creativity and their music to the next level. So that's a big thing. And also, I would love to go to Africa. I would love to go to Ghana or Nigeria. I was in dance in Africa for about 25 years. I grew up doing West African dance, and I would love to see, you know, what culture looks like there. Is it looking like Barbados? Is Barbados looking like them? Like, I would love to step on the motherland, do some interviews, talk to some people, and just experience the culture.
Wow.
Yeah.
And now there's earpiece. So you can get there one direct flight.
Close, yeah.
Close now.
Yeah.
And so your dreams are about to come true. Yeah. And I think for a lot of us, sometimes we miss that reality that our dreams are just about to come true. We give up too soon.
No,
and
there's no giving up.
Correct. As Megan reminds us, there is no giving up. There's no room for giving up. As long as there's life, there's possibility, and there's hope. Yeah. And so you just grab hold of your hope, but know yourself. To yourself, be true. Know your 3 pillars. And so you're on socials. Yeah. Remind people how to find you and see you.
You can find me on all socials at Megan Michael. It's MEGGHAN. Michael. I'm just one person, no S. MICHAEL. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook. I love LinkedIn. I write a lot of articles there. I currently have a project with NCF right now talking about the heart of Cropover through music, theater, and the actual history. I know there's been a huge debate, and I love the conversation that's coming from it. Yes. So we're going to be dropping another video today on the art of costume making and designing with Miss Onika Small. And it's going to be an interesting conversation. Also, we speak about Cohabla Park coming back and how those costumes are going to look. What is it going to be? Is it going to be a little bit scaled down? Is it going to be, you know, even more larger than life now that we have more access to utensils? So I'm interested to see how you guys receive that information and where Cropover is going as well. So,
wow, I'm excited to see it to myself. But Megan, it's so wonderful sitting across from you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wish you well. As a fellow Capricorn to another, wish you well.
All the Capricorns out there, I know y'all are sitting down looking like, yes, we know. We get it.
Yes. Good to see you again. All the best.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Right. We're on the side of the road at the moment, but we'll be telling you the news and much more right after this break from Inchcape, Barbados.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
On our Bajan Afar segment, share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
We could put on a fantastic show. All the best artists in the world, if the show ain't got nobody in it, show ain't saying nothing. So in the grand scheme of things, any party, any fete, any production, the people is who's really made the thing, right? So that was one of those, it's almost like an ode to the people. Because one is who's met this thing, you know.
2, get ready. 1, 2, 1, 2. He could be a pet or a life. When we come together, because you, me, we are the heart of the party. When the song swing, it could be a lime or a fete. We ready to sweat. Here's our shot you want, then real Andy.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. That's morning without the G. Come, and let us turn those pages together.
This is CBC, your crop over and summer vibe destination. This year, we're living crop over across every platform: TV, radio, digital, culture, music, sport, entertainment, like never before. On TV8, it's Crop Over Live, Crop Over Sweet Spot, festival vibes, the raw energy, straight from the heart of the action. On radio, we've got every vibe covered. 98.1 The One brings the heat. The Soca Squad, Soca Avenue. It's SATTA, Signal Fridays, pure energy, pure vibes. Q100.7 FM honors the legacy. Crop Over Legends, Into Festival. The stories that built this festival. Vibe 94.7 FM brings it home. Crop Over Diaries, Calypso Legacy, Culture Unfiltered. And CBC News is on the ground for every story, update, and highlight. Everything streams live on our socials and YouTube. Wherever you are, you're connected. Plus, spot, connect, and win. One loyal CBC listener or viewer drives away in a Suzuki Hybrid. This isn't just a season. This is CBC. This is the Crop Over and Summer Vibe.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Let's get to the news now. In the face of an unprecedented wave of gun-related crimes, with firearm offences and shooting deaths surging significantly, government is establishing 2 gun courts. Minister of Legal Affairs and Criminal Justice Michael Lashley says the specialized courts, a division of the High Court, will handle firearm-related offences quickly and effectively. He laid out the case for the court in Parliament during the Supreme Court Judicature Amendment Bill of 2026, during which he revealed that according to statistics, 23 of the 27 murders committed thus far this year were through the use of firearms. He explained that one of the 2 gun courts will deal with the backlog of firearms cases, including those from January this year.
A simple possession, sir, of 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 rounds of ammunition, sir, should have, sir, particularly if he's on bail, should be walking around the country, sir, without his matter being heard, sir, within 3 or 4 months of him being served or she being served with disclosures. And I say that, sir, because gun possession, sir, only involves, sir, police witnesses. It's a police case, sir.
Minister Lashley says the move was made to fast-track firearm cases from January to have case ready to ensure speedy trials. And he's assuring Barbadians that the court will be fully and adequately staffed.
This court, sir, will be staffed by 2 judges of the High Court, sir, 2 legal assistants, sir, 4 marshals, sir, 2 probation officers, sir, 2 principal state counsel, that's prosecutors, 2 senior state counsel, sir, and 2 secretaries. We hope, sir, that we will have, sir, experienced prosecutors and some persons from the private bar or whatnot, sir, who have an interest in prosecution, but it will involve training.
Contributing to that debate, Attorney General Wilfred Abrams says the gun court will have jurisdiction in all firearm-related offences. The revolutionary application touted to allow Barbadians to report public service issues such as potholes, water outages, waste disposal, and other concerns directly from their mobile devices went live yesterday. It's called the Pearly app and will allow users to submit photos, videos, written descriptions, and local location data. Prime Minister Motley says government invested in the app developed by local experts to find a more efficient way of allowing citizens to be able to share and express their views about matters affecting them personally and their communities. She was addressing the launch at Ilaro Court.
And that is the genius of those two words. One is a three-letter word, A-S-K, ask Pearly. Everybody knows what the word ask means. And the other one is a four-letter word, tell Pearly, which hopefully will replace the other four-letter words that people were using when they got frustrated with the delivery of government services. I have every confidence that once Bajans adopt this, it is not only going to help them see matters resolved in their communities, but it will help the efficiency of government, and more importantly, the office of citizenship.
Well, through that app, reports will be routed to the relevant government agencies for follow-up and resolution. And Pearly includes features for tracking issues and submitting emergency reports. While encouraging Barbadians to utilize the app, the Prime Minister says the country is as strong as those who are prepared to step up and play their role as citizens.
We know citizenship to be the highest office in any democracy. Yes, we have a president. Yes, we have a prime minister. But the Charter of Barbados reminds us of how important the duties and the rights are of a citizen. And it is against this backdrop, my friends, that I want Bajans to embrace this app. Yes, it is free. At some point, I imagine that the joint venture that will exist between us and this young company will see a platform for advertising. Because if Bajans use this in their large numbers, anybody who wants to communicate and advertise a message can benefit ultimately from being able to do so.
Well, Norma Walcott, otherwise known as Pearly, was one of the main characters of a theatrical production, and she joined the Prime Minister on stage for that launch. To sports now, rising talents Joel Andrew and Akeem Auguste, along with all-rounder Shamar Springer, have been drafted into the West Indies squad for the upcoming T20 series against Sri Lanka. The trio represent the only changes to the 15-member squad that took part in the ICC Men's T20 World Cup in India earlier this year. They replaced Johnson Charles, Quinton Sampson and Jaden Seals. The 19-year-old Andrew had a commendable showing at the ICC Men's Under-19 World Cup in January, where he scored 2 half-centuries. Auguste has scored 164 runs in 9 T20s of an average of 23.42. And Springer could consider himself unlucky not to have been included in that World Cup squad after taking a hat-trick against Afghanistan in his last match for the Windies in January. The 28-year-old has an average of 35.5 in T20s and 71 runs in 6 matches. Fast bowler Azari Joseph, who recently returned to the ODI squad following a 10-month layoff, has been rested as part of the workload management. That's it for news and sports until now. More news and sports coming up at noon on TV8. Morning Barbados is back from the showroom of Inchcape Barbados in Warrens right after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Cropover lives on TV8. It's where the season comes alive. From the road to the stage, we've got it covered. The vibes, the music, the culture, all in one place. TV8, we are Cropover Live.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
With 13 past the hour now, let's talk HR with Hermab. And I keep reminding you that membership brings benefits, so much so that we are excited always when the president sits with us. The president, Tisha Peters. Good morning to you, Peters.
Good morning, Pearson. Good morning, Barbados.
Good to have you. Good to have you as always, because we learn so much from Hermab. And that's the organization that really pulls together all of the human resource practitioners and allied workers as well to look at HR and to be able to bring not just benefits to membership alone, but to keep on the pulse of the changes in human resource management in Barbados.
And there are lots of changes.
And there are lots of
going on
changes.
in HR,
One of which is artificial intelligence.
Oh, yes.
I can imagine the conversations when you have your meetings. What are some of those discussion points when it relates to HR that concerns Hermab?
So some of the conversations that we're having, people are worried that AI is going to take over, take over the workers, right? And a lot of the times people think that, there'll be robots coming along and taking over the jobs. But I think one of the things that we have to think or remember is that AI is not going to replace humans entirely. It's really here to replace tasks. And that is one of the conversations that we're having.
It replaces tasks.
Yes.
But, people see themselves as their task.
Yes.
And so when you see my task being replaced, in effect, you're saying to me, you're replacing me. And you hold a different view.
I hold a different view. So when we talk about tasks, so you have an administrative assistant, for example, who may spend 4 hours doing a report. AI can take that report and do it in less than in an hour. We're freeing that admin assistant to focus on other matters within the company. So when you say replacing tasks, replacing the time it takes to complete a task as opposed to actually replacing the task itself.
I'm looking at it within the context of lots of company heads are saying, we have to find a way to streamline our expenses to our revenue. And so whatever things we need to do to be able to bring those in line, that I see profit at the end of the day, we shall do.
Yes.
Which sometimes often means the displacement of an individual with technology.
Well, I don't know necessarily that it's going to be a full replacement of the individual, because at the end of the day, you still need humans. There's no automation or technology that's going to hold somebody's hand when somebody is grieving or is going through a difficult time. So you still need humans. What we have to do is to upskill ourselves and reskill our workforce, because if you're not reskilling the workforce, then they're going to be at a disadvantage. So the person who is learning AI and who is demonstrating that they understand how to use it responsibly, those who will have an advantage over somebody who doesn't. And not being afraid of the technology as well, because it can really help to make your work life easier.
Whose responsibility for the upscaling is it? Is it the individual or the employer?
It's both. So the employer can look at, so for instance, when ChatGPT came out maybe 2 or so years ago, there was a lot of fanfare about it. People were nervous and scared. A lot of companies like Microsoft, for instance, introduced Copilot. And a lot of companies are using Copilot because it's integrated into their Microsoft 365 subscription and enterprise version. So the employer is responsible for training the employee on how to use AI responsibly. And the employee is also responsible to learn how to use it responsibly in order to complete their tasks. So you're not going to take a document and scan it and put it into AI and say, well, I created this. You have to use your intelligence, your critical thinking, and your skills in order to make that document focus on the company itself and what you're trying to convey in terms of the messaging.
So it requires you, the individual, to be open to change, to be accepting of the fact that reality is that change is going to be the constant.
Yes.
It will constantly be evolving and changing, and technology will keep pace with that change. And in keeping pace with that change, one has to change oneself, one's approach, one's mindset to the job that you're in. Because for too long, we have settled in seats and in offices, and we've occupied those spaces thinking, I shall die here. And, whether it says to me, use a pen and paper, I shall always use a pen and paper. When all the while the rest of the world is saying we've moved away from that now. So to be relevant, you need to remain relevant.
You need to remain relevant, and you have to reskill yourself and not be afraid of trying new things. As you say, the only constant in life is change, and you have to be able in this economy or this environment, you have to be able to utilize the tools that are available, and AI is one of those tools that you can use.
I can well imagine again the individual with the HR officer.
Yes,
and that conversation. You're gonna fire me? What is going to be happening? I see that you've now brought in whatever. And so that fear it is the fear that HR practitioners are called upon to manage.
You have to manage the fear because people will obviously think, and with any change, you have to mitigate and manage it as well. So it's just speaking with the employee and looking at those areas that they are using and showing them how they can save more time. So you have an employee who sits down and is recording minutes. So you have, they're writing down minutes, and instead of doing that, you have an AI tool that will take the notes, will transcribe those notes, and then you can put that into your own writing, format it, and then put it out there. And that takes you less than 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and you can spend the rest of the time doing other productive tasks that you have. And so showing the employee how they can become more productive and not fear being replaced, because that's not the aim it should not be the aim of any organization. Some tasks, yes, are going to be automated, but not definitely to replace our employees.
The implementation of artificial intelligence in the workforce,
yes.
As with everything else, I think it starts with conversations. The decision is made at that level, but the filtering down of what it means, so you get the buy-in from staff as well. I think sometimes we drop the ball there.
We do. And I think communication is always important. Any change management that you're doing with an organization, communication is one of the key things that you have to do. And so communicating with employees, whether you're having town halls, one-on-one meetings, you're talking to managers, and managers are saying the same thing. And so everybody's having the same conversation and allaying those fears that people have and embracing it. So in my day job, we have something called Always on AI, and we have training on how to use AI and what it means and why we need to use certain tools. So we can't use ChatGPT or Claude. Our standard thing is Copilot, and how that works. So things like simple tasks like writing a job description or even interview questions, those things are something you would spend hours maybe sitting down trying to get it, refined. Right. You can use AI to kind of refine those in 5 seconds and have something, and you can then tailor it to the job that you're looking for, and again frees up your time to do something else.
And I'm glad you said tailor it, because often we surrender to AI or Copilot, whatever you choose to call it.
Well, all AI,
and we say, that's it.
Yes.
Not realizing that it just gave you consensus thinking. Yes. But you now have to make it yours.
You have to make it yours.
And that's the important part of it. So you still have to use your brain power.
Of course.
To be able to achieve the outcome that you're seeking to achieve. And so I don't want people sitting in offices today and say, but HR just telling us, to go ahead and use it. I will go ahead and use it. And if it references Michigan, that is their fault.
Yes.
That's
they
not what
can't
we're
do that.
talking about
No, you cannot do that. No. And you have to have those, and of course, as a company, having your AI policy in place and what that would look like. So that's something we can talk about as well.
You got that right, because that's exactly where we wanted to go to next. So what I'll do, I'll take the break right here. When we come back, we look at the policy and what the company expects and wants out of that policy, how to create that policy so that everyone sees themselves rising in that policy as well. We talk to Tisha Peters, the president of HERMAP, right after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
We could put on a fantastic show. All the best artists in the world, if the show ain't got nobody in it, show ain't saying nothing. So in the grand scheme of things, any party, any fete, any production, the people is who's really made the thing, right? So that was one of those, it's almost like an ode to the people. Because one is who's met this thing,
Two, get ready. 1, 2, 1, 2. He could be a pet or a life. When we come together, because you, me, we are the heart of the party. When it sounds sweet, it could be a life.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Your peep there of that brand new Suzuki Across GLX. It is what we are giving to you. This crop over wants to stay connected and spot. And so listen up for more details about how you can win that vehicle in just a little while with us at the CBC on air and definitely online. But Tisha Peters is a president of HERMAB. HERMAB, as I keep reminding you, brings benefits. And so we're benefiting from her experience and her knowledge and all of that as the head of HERMAB now. And so we're talking artificial intelligence within the workforce. Does it displace people? It displaces tasks, but not people. That's the underlying message. And so, Tisha, when we were talking about policy. The company should have a policy, or does it have to?
It has to. I think it's important for the company to let employees know where and what they need to do with AI. So, for instance, you don't want to put your personal information, like your banking information, that kind of thing, because you still need to be able to, keep some sort of separation of duties. So your AI policy will cover what you should and shouldn't do, which tools you should use. There are many AI tools out there. There's ChatGPT, there's Claude AI, which I love, by the way. There's Copilot, which I use for work. There's Perplexity. There's so many tools out there. So the company will then dictate what you can and cannot use. And in that policy, in a responsible usage, and what happens if you go outside of the parameters. And all of those things need to be communicated to the employee so that they also know what those parameters are.
And those parameters are set for a reason, because it's your integrity you're still protecting.
Yes, you have to protect the integrity and also the business, because we still are not 100% sure where this information is going. So even with your AI tools, they recommend that you turn off certain settings in terms of training the models and all of that. So the company is going to take care of that. And, you just have to be able to put those parameters around it and just ensure you work within it.
You use one of my favorite words, training, because you've established your policy. This is the way we're going from here on end, and these are the outcomes that we want to see. Individuals now have to get on board training. Talk to me a little bit about what that training could look like in a given organization.
So training could be in terms of courses that are online, in terms of using generative AI or any AI tool. Some companies roll out their own proprietary training in terms of responsible use of AI. So in my regular job, we actually are going through training in terms of how to use AI responsibly and how, what the parameters are, and, scenarios that give you, so you know how to use it and which tools you need to use. So companies just need to put those things in place and communicate to employees and do the training. So there are courses on, the National Training Initiative has stuff on Coursera, and there are lots of courses out there. Google has stuff, and just LinkedIn Learning, there are courses on there. And tailor those, let employees go and learn, and again, reskill the employees and retool, and they're ready to face the new what's coming.
Let's look at checks and balances, because there are going to be cheats.
Oh, yeah.
I know, talking off air, I said to her, yes, I use it. Did you feel guilty? I said, at first I did. At first I did.
Yes.
But then I recognized, in reading the response given to me, I realized, this doesn't sound like me.
It doesn't.
So therefore I began to insert me into it as well. And that's really what it is. It assists, but it doesn't necessarily take over.
It doesn't. And I think looking at the prompts that you put in. So for instance, if you just say, well, create a job description, that's going to turn out just a generic thing. But if you say, I want to create a job description for an engineer who has 1 or 2 years of experience, these are the qualifications we're looking for, create a job description. The AI will then take that information and create something that's curated to your organization. You then go into it, and then you look, thinking of the job, the person who's coming into that role, you then go through and make sure that it aligns with the company values, etc., putting your mission and all of that, and create a job description. And that's how you can use AI in a better way.
In other words, there's still checks and balances.
You have to do checks with everything. With everything, you have to do checks and balances.
Because we tend oftentimes to think the computer has done it for me, it is done, it's complete, and therefore I should not look over it or look back at it.
That's not the way to go. You have to look back, you have to do your checks and balances, and you also have to ensure that you're not saying that something is yours. And you can tell when somebody uses AI, right? I mean, the language is very static. You can tell, and they have those dashes and those various the AI language. So you also can say to the AI in your prompt, make this more human. And sometimes, like ChatGPT, will learn, depending on the usage, it learns your behavior and how you speak. So you teach it how to kind of, work with your language, and it creates that continuity for you as you go through.
I was doing a script, and I asked it adjust your tone, adjust the length of that kind of, and it does it for you.
Yes.
But even in those adjustments, you still have to look back.
You still have to look back.
Because it starts to flow like you.
Yeah. One of my
well.
famous things of using is when I write an email, because I write emails very
Yes,
harsh, right?
yes.
And I would say, please soften. I do. Sometimes in HR, you're like, so why is that? So I would ask it to please soften the tone. And in Copilot, you can ask it to coach. There's a coaching element. You can ask it to draft it for you. And then you go through and then you kind of refine it and make it your own. And sometimes it comes up with great opportunities. And sometimes you still have to do a little bit of tweaking. It's good to use in many cases, yeah.
In other words, don't be afraid of it.
Don't be afraid of it. Because the technology is coming, whether we want it or not. AI is here and it's not going anywhere. You just have to embrace it, utilize it in your businesses. Just finding ways to be more creative, reducing time, and also giving you back some time as well, because you can focus on more strategic things.
We use artificial intelligence. We're talking here generally about what happens in the office, those at the desk who have to write and so forth. But then there are businesses of production. Large scale, small scale, medium, whatever. And so the way I churn out the number of bottles with the caps consistently with the labels in the right place, I want to automate that now using artificial intelligence. Again, they're workers who feel a way about that. What would you say to them?
I would say that the company has to definitely look at how they streamline those technologies, because in some cases you still have to have someone at the end to do those checks and balances. And I think companies just have to be able to look at what they automate and then reskilling those workers to do other tasks that may be more productive in the production line. And I think that's something that they just really need to focus on.
And the opportunity again too is to learn something else.
And you learn something new.
I become a mechanic in this instance. I know
Not
to
a
fix the
mechanic.
part. Well, you know what I mean. To fix the parts when sometimes there's a fault.
Well,
the computer is not going to fix that for you.
No.
And so there are other ways in which you can still be a meaningful part of the process, but it frees you up to explore what else you can actually do. How else can you contribute? What are the learnings gaps that you need to fill? And so that's why we should not be afraid of artificial intelligence, but we must be mindful that there are people in this scenario. And in this scenario, because there are people, they have feelings about it. And so you must be respectful of those feelings as well. So as HR practitioners, that's the kind of discussion we believe you should have.
Of course, you have
mindful of the individual and the fear that they may have for this as well.
Of course.
There's a lot.
It's a lot. I'll give you a joke. On New Year's Day, I got stuck in the mud, right? So
you're one of those ladies? Okay.
I went to look at planes, which I love to do. And I got stuck in the mud. And I was just like, how do I get out of this? And I went to the Gemini and I asked, and it actually told me what to do.
Really?
I took my the mat, turned it upside down, put it under the wheel, and and it got me right out. I had no idea how to get out of it.
She lives on my phone. I never thought to ask her.
Yes. So sometimes you're in sticky situations, pun intended, and you use the technology to help you because you didn't know. So, there you go. AI at work, in life and at work.
There you go. So in other words, don't be afraid of it.
Don't be afraid of it.
Find useful ways to use it. And in using it, you will see the benefits that you can derive from it. It gives you time. It makes your thinking a whole lot more clear. And so just focus on what you can get out of it. At the end of the day, you are still responsible for the final product. You are the one who does the signing off, so to speak. You're the one who decides, you know what, this is right. This is sufficient. I will now take it forward. But if you just go forward with what is put out for you, sometimes you might get it wrong. And so there's still the need for the human input into the outcome. And so don't be afraid, folks. But to the HR practitioner, you have to have a conversation. You have to make sure that the policy is absolutely clear and clearly articulated so that everyone in the organizations understand really what this policy represents and how they fit in and what are the checks and balances and what is then required of them to do. And so
so a lot to discuss. Yes. I actually saw a report. A reporter actually got in trouble because he put his report and he copied and pasted and ChatGPT says, would you like me to do so? And it was published.
Would you like
so do your checks and balances if you're using AI so you don't end up in embarrassing situations and just have fun and just do your work.
So if you need to know more as HR practitioners, of course, contact HRMAB, hrmab.org.bb.
.bb.
Correct.
Yes, correct.
I remember that's been so long.
Yes, I know.
So HRMAB.org.bb, and again, membership brings benefits. So Come get your benefits. Be a member of HERMAP today. Tisha, as always,
Thank
wonderful
you
sitting
so
with
much
you.
for having me, Pearson.
Good.
Great talking with you.
I know
See
you'll
you
be probably
again.
having some other AI workshops coming up. You've had AI workshops before, right?
We've had AI workshops coming up. We have our conference coming up in October, and that is going to focus on Workforce 2030, ready or not.
Wow.
And so that's the conversation. That is not a full stop, it's not a question mark. Are you ready or not? Because right now we have 5 generations in the workplace.
Yeah.
And that's going to bring a whole lot of things coming up for our for HR as well, and how we deal with that, and our organizations ready to handle when Gen Zs who are now transitioning into the workplace. My daughter's a Gen Z; she's going to be going into the workplace shortly, and how you're going to handle the workforce when they come in 2030. So more conversations around that. You know, follow us online.
That is interesting. I can't wait to talk to you about that some more.
Yes, very much so.
Thank you as always.
You're welcome. Thanks a lot, Pearson. Have a great day, everyone.
You too.
Okay.
We're in the showroom of Inchcape Barbados right now. The doors are open to serve you. 7:30 has gone, and so business has started here at Inchcape. So come on in, see the vehicle of choice, have your discussions, work out your financing, and get driving and across today. But we'll talk more about those and more right after this break.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
I'm or a threat. We ready to sweat. Here's our shot you want. Then real
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
This is CBC, your crop over and summer vibe destination. This year, we're living crop over across every platform. TV, radio, digital, culture, music, sport, entertainment, like never before. On TV8, it's Crop Over Live, Crop Over Sweet Spot, Festival Vibes, the raw energy, straight from the heart of the action. On radio, we've got every vibe covered. 98.1 The One brings the heat. The Soca Squad, Soca Avenue. It's SATA, Signal Fridays, pure energy, pure vibes. Q100.7 FM honors the legacy. Crop Over Legends, Into Festival. The stories that built this festival. Vibe 94.7 FM brings it home. Crop Over Diaries, Calypso Legacy, Culture Unfiltered. And CBC News is on the ground for every story, update, and highlight. Everything streams live on our socials and YouTube. Wherever you are, you're connected. Plus, spot, connect, and win. One loyal CBC listener or viewer drives away in a Suzuki Hybrid. This isn't just a season. This is CBC. This is the Crop Over and Summer Vibe.
Crop Over lives on TV8. It's where the season comes alive. From the road to the stage, we've got it covered. The vibes, the music, the culture, all in one place. TV8, we are Crop Over Live.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affairs segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. And together we will travel the world.
We could put on a fantastic show. All the best artists in the world, if the show ain't got nobody in it, show ain't say nothing. So
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We are in the spirit of the lions. Yeah, we are roaring, we are achieving, we are rising. And I'm saying we because I feel as though that's my school too. And I'm happy to introduce you today to some outstanding people from the school, St. George Secondary. I am so immensely proud. You guys know this about me for the longest while now. That I'm so proud of the achievements I'm seeing coming from that school, the change that we're seeing. And so as it changes, it's because of the young people and the faculty at the school as well, making those changes happen. So Barbados, wake up, wake up. Wonderful things are happening at St. George Secondary, led by this man, Mr. Dennis Brown, the principal, and I'll call you Mr. Brown because they're not to call you by your first name going forward. And he's brought along a few more of those ambassadors who are competing in the upcoming Spirit of the Nation, Spirit of the Lion show. And so Brittany Hall is in the middle. Brittany, good morning, Miss Applewhite.
Good morning.
All right, and she's representing along with Justin Alfred. Good morning, Justin.
Morning.
Good to have you. Kidon Brown and Kedara Weeks McLean are St. Jude's. Good morning, both of you.
Good morning.
Principal Brown, let's talk here. Listen, I have met so many people, I've seen in the news so many wonderful stories about your school. One, there was a young woman who was a part of Poetry Barbados. She was the rising star. She is so good. She came third in their competition, but she was the one who was signally recognized for her great contribution. I've seen in the press the letter writing competition and your winner there. I've seen the outstanding athlete who's shown up Barbados really at the recent BISA and Carifta Games. What's going on? This is some wonderful, wonderful news.
Well, I would say time and time again that it's not done by the principal, but I've heard you mentioned this morning the faculty.
Yes.
And that is where it has been changing through the faculty. And their hard work, and they're recognizing that we are just as good as anyone else. And they have been the ones who have been turning it around. We've all been turning it around because we've been cooperating together and developing the school.
You have now the Key Club with the Kiwani, which is fantastic, building leadership skills as well as you go there. And then you also have that huge mural, which was recently put in as well, which remind the students as they come in that you are coming into a space of education, but a space of celebration of who you are. And I'm looking at you deliberately because I want you to know how powerful each of you is and how promising each of you is as well. And because Barbados is excited to support you, I want you to know that we want the best from you every single time. And I'm sure that's the message you share at assembly ever so often.
Oh, definitely. The students are beginning to believe. We recognize that because of what has happened with our education system and the colonial times, that we have adopted this policy of good school, bad school, older secondary school, newer secondary school, but that is changing. What has been happening at St. George is what the Ministry of Education has been trying to say to the public. Education transformation, and that is what is real. We are it's a perfect example of what education transformation is like.
And you live your name, the lions. You roar, and you are the beast. You're the king of the jungle, so to speak. You're devouring as you go. You're making successes of yourself. One of the successes I want to mention to you is in the $20 challenge, the farm, and that effort and that initiative that I was so impressed by the business acumen of those students and their teacher as well, who was recognized also in that particular endeavor.
Yes, as the teacher of the year in that particular initiative. But so we continue to offer the students as many opportunities as possible. Whatever is available, we continue to tap in on their talents so that they can see that they have within them the means to be successful.
Yeah. Everything to be successful.
Everything.
But you've crafted a curriculum that balances all of those things, not just the academics, but also the extracurricular and the other ways in which people can learn and people can achieve. And I think I wished it happened in my time. I honestly wished it happened in my time because I could have been someone else. But the opportunity wasn't given then, but the opportunity is given now, and it's good to see that the students at your school in particular, we're talking about St. George Secondary here, are grabbing hold of those opportunities and making something of themselves.
Yes, so that is why the reason why we have made our curriculum so diverse, to tap into those talents that I spoke about, to ensure that the students are able to use whatever they have within them to become successful.
Are you coming up with the open day so we can all come and see the output?
Of course, definitely.
Still to come, right? Still to come.
Still to come.
Still to come. So keep tuned, folks. Still to come. Again, they opened the doors on the compound of St. George Secondary for all of us to come see the great work of the students of St. George Secondary, and we were all blown over really by what we see that they can produce and have been producing using the tools and the brain and the techniques that have been taught to them by the faculty of the school. And so there's a lot happening at St. George Secondary. So as you drive by, the compound is so quiet and so clean. It is wonderful to behold indeed the transformation we have seen from your leadership and happening at St. George Secondary School. So well done to you, sir.
Thank you so very much.
You're welcome. One of which is a developmental initiative known as the Spirit of the Lion. And so that Spirit of the Lion show, which is coming up next week, Saturday the 20th, at the Frank Collymore Hall, so we can accommodate even more of you. It was burst, as you young people would say, last year. And so we want to now fill the hall to overflowing with you as well. Next week, Saturday, at the Frank Collymore Hall, the Spirit of the Lion show, there are 18 students, 9 pairs of students who will be competing for the title. And there's so many different ways in which they'll be able to be preparing for it. And I'll take a look at that with them, some of these who are representing the respective communities, right after this break.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
In the grand scheme of things, any party, any fete, any production, the people is who's really made the thing, right? So that was one of those, it's almost like an ode to the people. Because one is who's met this thing, you know.
2, get ready. 1, 2, 1, 2. He could be a pet or a lion. When we come together, because you, me, we are the heart of the party. When the song sweet, it could be a lime or a pet. Be ready to sweat. Here's a shot you want, then real and
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
This is CBC, your
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
The Spirit of the Lion show is next week, Saturday, the 20th of June, 2026. And the doors are opening bright and early, so you can come in and cheer and support your favorite couple from St. George Secondary School. This is designed following the Spirit of the Nation show, and so I know that the Community Independence Celebration Secretary have been working with the school last year and again this year, so it's structured well, and maybe they become themselves a parish ambassadors for their respective parishes, one hopes. But in all of this, these students are developing in significant ways in public speaking and going into their communities and learning more about the community around them and so much more. So let's talk to them now. A couple from Applewaits. You are now the ambassadors for Applewaits in Brittany Hall and Justin Alfred. Brittany, you are also the president of the Key Club. Brittany is also the president, and I just happened to know and to mention it. As president, how do you feel about your role?
As president, to be honest, I feel I feel great about the role.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of work, but that's something I'm looking forward in doing and putting my best towards.
Yeah, and there's so much to benefit from by being a member of the Key Club as well. You grow as a leader, you benefit as a social worker, you get out there and you make a difference to other people as well, but you lead by example. So well done to you.
Thank you.
Now, as Miss Appleways, you've had to go into your community to learn a whole lot more about Appleways, correct?
Yes, please.
What have you learned?
Well, I have learned that Appleways is very historical. It has one of Barbados. It was one of Barbados' sugar plantation, and it's also on the border of St. George and St. Thomas, and it also owns one of Barbados' packaging industries.
You're teaching me now. That I did not know, but you're teaching me that now. And so it must have been so much fun exploring. Have you actually physically gone into the area as well to see the lay of the land, so to speak?
Not yet. That will be done Thursday, which is tomorrow.
Oh, there's a tour of the area on Thursday tomorrow.
Yes, please.
Oh, are you looking forward to that?
Yes, please.
So you made a decision to step forward to represent your school at this Spirit of the Lion show. And how did you choose to be representing Appleways, or was that chosen for you?
Well, it was chosen for me.
But then no regrets after all.
No.
Preparation for the show, what are you doing?
Right now, I'm working on my speech, working on how I walk, because I struggle there a bit, but yes.
We all struggle walking, that's the truth. Working with Justin, how is that?
Working with Justin is great. He puts in the effort and he does his best.
He does his best. Justin, you do your best. Are you satisfied with your best as you see it right now?
I mean, yeah, but I got to improve it a little bit more, just in case.
What else do you think you need to work on to be ready for next week, Saturday?
Well, if I'm all over the place, I gotta like plan this out piece by piece, you know, from small to big. Like I gotta find the main parts that are the problem.
So what do you identify to be the matters that you need fixing?
You see, I gotta find out the time the speech has to be.
Okay.
And also the engaging the audience.
You're working on that, engaging the audience. Why do you think that you need to work on that?
Because engaging audience can be a lot. Because you can like reason with them and relate to them. And in some moments,
Sometimes you get a little bit shy. But you've come such a long way, because you are now wearing a sash that says, I am the male representative of Appleways, and so I'm bold enough to be able to do so. If you see a crowd, here's what I do. I look well over their heads, not up at this roof, but I look beyond their heads, so I don't see the individual. I just see people till I'm comfortable, and then my eyes can drift on the individual face. There's always someone in the audience who wants to tell you you're doing well. Find that face and dwell on that face if necessary, all right? But apart from that, you just look over their heads and you talk, and they think you're looking at them. It's okay. You'll do well. And so Appleways, because you heard your counterpart Brittany say some things about Appleways, is there anything else about Appleways that you've learned?
Me? I heard that Appleways used to be a plantation owned by the British colony in 1972. And the name Appleways comes from a wealthy plantation family.
Wow. I'm sure a lot of people who live there didn't know that. But you do now, you do now. A part of what you're doing, you'll be required to walk in formal wear. Have you worked out what you're wearing yet?
Yeah, we are still working on that one to see what we can adjust here.
Brittany, who's designed your formal wear?
My formal wear was not designed, it was bought.
It was bought.
Yes, please.
And so what colors are you going with? Green?
Yes, please.
Really? Because you have to stick with the color of the particular parish that area that you represent.
Yes, please.
How near to your school is Appleways? Very, very far or not too far?
It's not too far from St. George, but it's a good distance.
Good. And so you want your posse, the Appleways posse, to come and support you on the 20th at the Frank Cullimore Hall, right?
Yes, please.
I want to give you an opportunity to look into the cameras and tell them to come out, Brittany. Tell the Appleways people to come.
I will encourage all Appleways people from the community to come out from Cullimore Rock next week, Saturday, the 20th. Come, there's a lot in store for you. Let's play.
Right, the Frank Cullimore Hall is where we're headed. Now, St. Jude's, everybody knows St. Jude's, so you better be good. I'm just teasing you on this one. To you, Kidon, you've decided to come out to represent St. Jude's in the upcoming Spirit of the Lions show.
Yes,
what was it that caused you to say yes when the opportunity came about?
Well, my teacher encouraged me most of it, honestly. I didn't plan on going in the show, but she encouraged me and let me know that it's a good thing for you, and that's what made me do it.
Have you found that to be true?
Yes, please.
All right, so you see why you have to be obedient to your teachers. So what have you been doing in preparation for the upcoming show?
I'm working on my speech, and I'm working on my posture, and I'm working on that stage fright.
You have stage fright. So how do you deal with stage fright? How do you?
It's saying to you, say, try to look beyond the crowd and look for that one person.
But you know, it's looking into the mirror sometimes and recognizing this is who I am. This is who I am. I have everything, and therefore I need not be afraid of anyone. And so your confidence builds as you look at yourself a whole lot more.
Yes,
not to become arrogant, but to recognize who you are and to see all the power that's within you to make a difference. And then you'll see, you know what? I can actually stand against anybody, and I can hold my own. So you do that.
Yes,
so St. Jude's, we know it has an Anglican church in St. Jude's. What else about St. Jude's do you know?
In 1955, the St. Jude's Boys and Girls School merged into one and became the St. Jude's Mixed School.
Really?
Yes, please.
I wasn't even born there, but you're telling me now. Really, I didn't know that it was. Okay, go ahead. What else?
St. Jude's is also well known in their agricultural program. That's pretty much.
That's pretty much how much you've got so far. And
Yes,
on
yes.
Thursday, you're getting to go into St. Jude's as well?
I think this weekend, actually.
Oh, yours is on a different day.
Yes, please.
And in going into the community of St. Jude's, what are you hoping to be able to do as you interact with the people of St. Jude's?
I want to make them know that we are going in this to win and represent St. Jude's all the way.
And of course, to have them come out and support you, right?
Yes, please.
I know you're going to sell it well. Kidara, that's a different kind of name, girl. You know, it's so different. Have you had a discussion with your mommy about, mommy, why you call me Kidara?
Well, it's a combination of my father's and mother's name.
So the answer is yes, you had that discussion with your parents. So there you are. Now you represent all that your parents think of you as beautiful, the best in who they are. Are you ready for the competition?
I'm hoping so.
I think you will be. I see your confidence already, and I just love, we were talking, I said I love the bow in your hair. It is so cute. It is so reminiscent of the times past, but it's good to know that you embrace yourself. Is this your style generally?
Yes, I was since full farm. Well, I'm already in full farm, but I already started wearing it.
You're right. So this is your style. You do you. And so here you are. You also made that decision to represent and be a part of this competition. Was it scary when the offer came?
Yes, to me, because I mean, it's something new, but I have encouragement from my friends, both my friends that are in the program and my teacher that's taking care of the program.
And what about your family?
Well, they've supported me too, because I don't really put myself out there per se, so it's a good experience I could have.
So now that you have some spotlight on you, how comfortable are you now with the spotlight on you, Kidara?
I mean, yes, I was nervous first coming on, but with you as my host, it settled my jitters.
You good, man? I'm telling you, good. You go to St. George Secondary School, girl, which is a wonderful school. You are good to go. But are you getting nerves now knowing that next week, Saturday, is the show?
Not really, to be honest, because I was always pretty brave for I say, because I was always outspoken, so I wasn't really per se nervous. So it's good to know.
Are you working well with Kidon?
Yes, we
Good. Have you all crafted the speech yet?
Yes, but we're still working on punctuation.
The presentation of the speech and how you actually say it.
Yes, please.
So Kidon is holding you back.
No, I never said that. I never said that.
I thought I heard that. Kidon is who's holding who back?
Nobody know.
Okay, good. You're working on it together.
Yes, please.
Time that you're spending in all of this in preparation, does it feel as if it's taking up so much of your time?
I mean, it was 4 months that we were in the program, so I wouldn't say it was time wasted. It was a good experience.
It's been a good experience so far. And I'm glad to hear you say that it's a good experience so far, because at the end of it, you're going to be brilliant indeed. And so, Mr. Brown, here we are. We are just days away. I want to break it down. It's at Frank Cullimore Hall. What time does it start?
5 p.m.
Yep, it's starting bright and early, and we want you all to be there. And so when you come, folks, you're seeing 8. Look at your screen, look at your screen, look at your screen. Look at your screen. We got it good. It's the St. George Secondary School presenting the Spirit of the Lion show of 2026, Roaring into the Future. And it's at the Frank Cullimer Hall, 5:30 is when it begins. At the bottom of your screen, you can see all the details you need to know. But for sure, I want you from the respective communities of St. George and wider Barbados, because the whole of Barbados showed up last year practically. And we want even more of Barbados to show up at the Frank Cullimer Hall on the 20th, bright and early. The doors open very, very early. Come find your favorite spot at the Frank Cullimer Hall. Be prepared to roar in support of the Lions and Lionesses of St. George Secondary School for once again putting on this phenomenal show indeed. And so this is all part of the initiative as well, Mr. Brown, that you're doing, empowering the students to be self-sufficient and to be confident as they interact with the public, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And you can clearly see that despite what, what we've been hearing, despite what Barbados has adopted over time, that we are showing the positive things and the positive young people that are coming out of our country.
Indeed, and you're all so positive indeed. And so that's what it's about. This is inspiring. It is different. You know you're the only school that has this pageant? Do you know what that means? You're the only school which has this pageant, the Spirit of the Lion, supported by one of Barbados' best entities known as the Community Independence Celebration Secretary, and many other people who are supporting you as well. So I want to encourage Barbadians to get out and get their tickets. Get your tickets. Get your tickets.
Come on out.
Correct.
Come on out.
This is not to be missed indeed, because I really want to have the winners back on. You promised me that.
Definitely.
Good. I really want to be able to celebrate with them when they come, whether it's from Applewaite or St. Jude's. We had Prerogative yesterday, and so I want to really wish you well as you take this journey to becoming the Lion and Lionesses of the Spirit of the Nation. And so I want to wish you well in your endeavors, all right?
Yes. Come out and roar with us, Barbados.
Come out and roar with us, Barbados. Indeed.
And before we go, Pearson, we're going to do something special for you this morning. Something that we do every morning at full assembly. We usually repeat our affirmation, which spells the word lion. So you're going to join me this morning. All right? So let's go. We are the lions.
We are the lions.
We are leaders.
We are leaders.
We are inspired.
We are inspired.
We are organized.
We are organized.
We never give up.
We never give up.
We are the St. George Secondary School Lions.
I love it. Well done, well done, well done. Believe in yourselves. We believe in you. All right, so well, thank you so much, my brother. You know, as always, I'd like to have an interaction with you. He inspires me as well. I'm not his student. But thank you so much for coming. And thank each of you for agreeing to be a part of this show as well. All right? Thank you very much indeed. All right, before I go, just to let you know, a bunch of keys was found on Saturday somewhere along Todd's Road in St. George. Those keys have been taken to the fire station at 4 Road, St. John. And if they are yours, you can go identify and collect them. So again, a bunch of keys found along Todd's Road, St. George on Saturday. They are now being kept at the fire station at 4 Road, St. John. Go identify and retrieve your keys. All right? Simple Simon met the pieman. And that's it for today. The crew joins me in saying to all of you, have a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. Be it the will of the Lord. Join us again tomorrow from the showroom at Inchcape Barbados for another edition of Morning Barbados. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, morning, morning.
Cropover and summer vibe destination. This year, we're living Cropover across every platform. TV, radio, digital, culture, music, sport, entertainment, like never before. On TV8, it's Cropover Live, Cropover Sweet Spot, festival vibes, the raw energy, straight from the heart of the action. On radio, we've got every vibe covered. 98.1 The One brings the heat. The Soca Squad. Soca